What else? There was so much news I want to talk to you guys about. Oh, dude. Okay, so Russia, Ukraine. Not always the most fun subject to discuss, but a lot of crazy things happening. So first of all, Russia did their biggest offense in a long time, all right? Insane pummeling offense, knocking out power, people dying, terrible, okay? At the same time, for this entire war, Zelensky on the Ukraine side has been asking America for permission to use long-range missiles on targets inside of Russia. And Biden and the US have always said, no, do not use them. We will not support you. Don't use them. It'll escalate the war. It'll cross a line. And then after the election, Biden apparently just said, fuck it. Why do they need permission? Because we're funding. We're basically giving them missiles. Because Biden said you can't, he gave permission. So now they have permission. And so they did launch them. I'm talking about like now. Okay, so first, this is Russia does war's largest attack. Huge attack. 120 missiles, 90 drones. Terrible. Ukraine responds back finally with long-range missiles into Russia, into targets in Russia. Now Russia is threatening, it's not an exaggeration, they're threatening nuclear war. They are saying that crossing this line is tantamount to the United States and NATO endorsing or being part of an attack that crosses a nuclear line. Now, we don't know if they'll actually do it, but we're getting to the point where it's like where we're saying, do it, pussy. It's crazy. I mean, we are at the closest minutes to midnight I've ever seen. They say it all the time, I know. Again, they say it all the time, which is why it has less impact. But this is something they said over and over is a red line for them, and now it's been crossed. I don't have anything to tell you other than this is happening live, and the Ukraine is doing long-range missile attacks into targets in Russia. And now, here, I'll give you the exact quote. I want you guys to just know the facts. I am not putting any words in anybody's mouth here. Here's Dmitry Medvedev. Russia's new nuclear doctrine means NATO missiles fired against our country could be deemed an attack by the bloc on Russia. Russia can retaliate with WMD against Kyiv and other key NATO facilities wherever they're located. That means World War III. This is the chair of the Security Council in Russia. Like, we're having World War III discussions between countries on Twitter, on X.com. What world are we in? Anyway, it's crazy. The Everything app includes nuclear diplomacy. So that's happening. Insanely wild advancements in that. I also will say, speaking of Russia, it's a complicated issue. You can go very deep on this. There's plenty of, there's reading you should do, but if you want to watch YouTubers, there's YouTubers that'll go 3-hour videos every week on Ukraine and Russia. You can go deep on it. On a high level, I'll tell you, boots on the ground consensus is that Russia has been making progress, has been winning, okay? It's slow, it's whatever, but it's been winning. Now, one thing that is not talked about enough is that Russia's war economy is finally showing signs of being I mentioned the guns and butter thing last week, where the price of butter's going up, but apparently they're having like an insanely terrible time getting trains to run. Like, look, there's like massive container backups because all of the trains need these certain ball bearings that they're being sanctioned on. They can't use the Chinese ones. They don't work in this situation. And they have like no mechanics. They don't have enough mechanics because they all went into the war effort. And so they can't get trains to run. And so there's videos. I wish I could find a video for you. I had it. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find it in time. There's videos of train, like the train cars being put onto trucks. They're doing like taking every car off the train, putting each one on a truck, which is like, insanely inefficient just to get it to Moscow. They're having a real slowdown. They're having inflation and a ton of goods. Definitely problems are settling in. So I don't know how this plays out. I mean, Russia appears to be winning the war part, but at what cost to their domestic economy? And then we're also nearing minute to midnight World War III. This is all happening this week. What is this insane week, bro? What if Russia tries to launch the nukes, but they can't get the nukes on the train? I can't. Saying I can't for something like this is so funny. I can't. They want to nuke us to death, but the train doesn't run. I can't. I'm losing it. Gallows humor? Yeah, I mean, that's this stream in a nutshell, dude, for a lot of things. So I'm not knocking you. Oh, speaking of Russia, I just want to reiterate that while I am talking about this, I'm not being too critical of Vladimir Putin because I have a second floor to the place that I live, and I would hate to fall out a window like this Russian ballet dancer yesterday. Notorious Putin critic fell out of a ballet dancer, notoriously graceful, somehow fell out of a 5th floor apartment in St. Petersburg. Just so many unsafe windows in Russia for some reason. That's a picture of him when he jumped out. Too soon, all right? That's funny and give it a year, bro. Let someone else die. Wouldn't have been a problem if they were better at ballet or they had a shorter apartment. So anyway, that was insane to see. And this is, by the way, just so you don't think it's like a Twitter thing, this is very real. This guy's dead after falling from building, after falling out of window, fell off fifth floor balcony, 100% murdered for being critical of Putin. Do you think that if someone was critical of Putin, but they had a ground floor apartment, that he would just be like shaking his fist and think, I have nothing I can do? Do you think if you like had a ground floor apartment and like put mattresses outside the windows, that there would be actually no counter and you could say whatever the fuck you want? Falls into basement. What if he actually thought of his window as just a coincidence? It's just, there's a lot of people who have fallen out of windows since Putin invaded Ukraine. Just a shocking number of people who keep falling out of windows. So it's like, he may have been clumsy, but it sure is suspicious. Maybe Russia has really unsafe windows. Maybe Russia has really unsafe window. But I think realistically, Putin's a bit of a one-trick pony. He blew up a plane, bro. He's not a one-trick pony. If you're critical of Putin, he'll find a way. You know, Lex Fridman interviewed Javier Milei. I do know that, and I watched it today. Well, I watched the first hour 10, so there's a lot to go. I like what I heard. I need to watch more. I don't like Lex Fridman as an interviewer at all. There's so many questions I would love a deeper question, and he just like goes on glazing and then asks another question. He doesn't ever push back. He doesn't ever challenge. He doesn't ever... It's such a frustrating waste of an interesting person's time. But, counterpoint, he also get guests that no one else can get. And he gets long interviews. So, tomato, tomato. So maybe the glazing works. I mean, it clearly works. You got a strategy. It works. So I don't know. Maybe it works. But I enjoyed listening to the interview. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate because I have to check my biases at the door. In the first, I'm not kidding, like minute of the interview, he name drops 2 books that I have been reading. And so it's like, damn, I want to like this guy. It's hard for me not to like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard, but I have to understand it's such a nuanced. The thing is, it really is the thing is, yeah, I gotta wait and see. I gotta wait and see. I have to watch and see. Time will give me a much better answer than anything else. Time will. The way he describes it in the interview, it's like everything's working. The way the data I see looks at, it's like some things are working, some things are not. And what's gonna prove it is time. And we've got time. So I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna get a better, yeah, guys, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to angle to get appointed as Secretary of Education. I'm trying to get to appoint a Twitch streamer that doesn't speak Spanish to be Secretary of Education in Argentina. Did you see Lula photos with every leader smiling except for Milei? That's funny. Happy, 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 happy. Happy, 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 happy. That is nuts, dude. Have you seen this clip? Let's see, what is this? This is one of the greatest clips I've ever seen on a cable news show. It's Alan Lichtman, the keys guy.
I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right. He was wrong. You live in a total world of denial.
I read your...
Dude, I hate cable news shows, though. This is all they are, dude. They put 5 talking heads on the screen and they all yell over each other. It's reverse boomer brain rot. I swear to God, it's like their version of soap cutting. American news is you take an old person, you put him on the couch, and you make him watch 5 people yell at each other. It is designed to rot your brain just as much as Minecraft parkour while there's Reddit being read.
Say
you were
whatever you want.
preposterously and stupidly wrong. So, okay.
I don't give a fuck about these guys. I will say Alan Lichtman was quite wrong. We talked about it live. I mean, but what's funny, I remember my brain is rotted from the League of Legends, but I think I recall when we were doing the election day stream that I ran through the keys myself and just had different answers. I think he just picked his keys wrong. And then when I did it that way, the keys predicted Trump winning. So it's like, maybe his keys are fine. He just got delulu about it. He just got in his feelings. He was just biased. He was biased about the economy, for example. Like when he flipped the economy keys, which I did, suddenly it was over. But again, they feel like kind of vibes. Nate Silver claims to have applied my keys to predict the Trump victory. He doesn't have the faintest idea how to turn the keys. He'll be wrong again in trying to analyze the keys. Bro, he really leaned too hard into this. The video that we watched, it was just too much. He ends it by, he doesn't have any wiggle room. When you do that, you just get owned, bro. Crazy to do this for so many years and then, yeah, blow it all up with one election that you were just insanely confidently wrong about.